Hello everyone, I am Honey Badger Cosplay and I've been cosplaying for over 15 years now, and I'm here to share some of my tips on how to narrow down your character list so that you can get started on your cosplay journey. So first things first, have a list of the characters that you love or that you want to do. That sounds dirty. I know I mentioned this in my top 10 tips for beginner cosplayers video, and I keep mine actually on my phone, and I prioritize based off of what I feel like working on or what I'm currently very passionate about, or prioritize mine with the more complicated costumes towards the bottom if I felt my skills weren't where they needed to be, or I was more excited about a specific character. Recently, I've gone through and I've completely removed Red from Transistor, Lord Shen from Kung Fu Panda 2, and even though I took several off, I added things as well, such as the Lamb from the Cult of the Lamb, Pura from Tears of the Kingdom, and Melanie from the upcoming game Hades 2. Just know that one completed costume is better than 3 unfinished ones, so I highly recommend finishing one cosplay before you start down your list. But you're not saying no to the other characters forever. For example, Okami was on my list for years before I felt confident to tackle that one. And I want to do a quick side note here. I know a lot of people have been asking if you need to look like the character that you're cosplaying. The answer is no. Cosplay is not a look-alike contest. It is about having fun and expressing your love for the fandom and appreciation for the series. And honestly, I'm just gonna have to make a whole video about this since this is one of the most common questions that I see on Reddit and out in the wild. If I've made that already, you can find that here. Next thing that can make picking a character or narrowing it down to one character easier is doing a skill assessment of where your current skill level is. I like to suggest for beginners to start simple so you can build confidence and give you some extra practice with these new skills that you're developing. Now, I say start simple, but I definitely did not heed that advice when I started back in 2006. My first character that I chose was Ash from Final Fantasy XII, and while that was not exactly the best choice to start out with, and it was very frustrating, every cosplay project presents an opportunity for growth and skill development. And personally, I like to challenge myself with learning something new with each cosplay that I choose to tackle, whether that's a new sewing technique, more complex armor making, LEDs, animated LEDs. I mean, there's always something new to explore, and this is one of my favorite parts of the craft. Now that you have a list and you're trying to narrow down which character you actually want to choose, I would say look at that list again and make sure that you have a good reason for each of those characters on that list. Whether it's you love the source material or you have an admiration for the design, your motivation matters. After all, you're going to be investing significant amounts of time and energy into bringing this character to life. I like to choose characters based off of the source material and how impactful that was for me, or their personality, if there are specific traits that they have that I like to emulate. For example, I picked Okami because I love that game. I mean, I really love that game. I bought it on 4 different platforms and played through it multiple times. Loved that game. Okay. Quick side note, I know I'm bringing up Okami a lot, and it's for a reason. That game is awesome, and it was one of the hardest cosplays that I, to date, have ever completed. I love this game. I will never stop talking about this game. I recommend it to every single one of my friends. Anyone at all who has not played Okami, after this video, go stop and go play Okami. It's a beautiful game. You'll absolutely love it. I haven't met a single person who didn't like it. Some of the reasons why I chose Okami is because the art, the story, the character herself, even though you play as a wolf the whole time, made me want to do that cosplay justice. And it was actually my first original design that I ever completed. Alternatively, for Vi, I chose that character because she was the first character on the logon screen whenever I logged into League of Legends the first time. So this character specifically for me was very memorable and impactful. Also, her song is pretty cool, and I absolutely love her design.
She's such a misfit, always ready to brawl. It's like her business, roughing up your friends.
Ugh, so good. Basically, if you're gonna choose a character, you should choose a character you actually like, because you're gonna be spending a ton of time staring at reference material. And make sure that it's a character that you love. Remember, cosplay is about you and cosplay who you want and have fun with it. I cosplay from older shows or games all the time. For example, I'm going to be dressing up as my Cassandra from Soul Calibur 4 for upcoming anime onsen. Even though we're on Soul Calibur 6 now? Wait, when is Soul Calibur? Am I stuck in the 2000s? Oh, no, okay. Vi was added to the roster back in 2012. Anyways, to summarize, you're gonna make a list, check twice. It doesn't matter if the character is naughty or nice. That's pretty lame. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that. So go ahead, pick that character and get started. Remember to enjoy the journey and keep learning. Until next time, happy cosplaying.